So we've got a walnut rim, 1/2 inch thick, 2-ply, and ebony backing on it, little maple purfling, slotted round head screws, clocked so that half of them are the right tension, half of them are the wrong tension, and everybody's satisfied with the fact that they're clocked instead of unclocked. I'm really happy with my little label here in my first crack at acid etching. It's not perfect by a long shot. I had some little issues with the printing of the pattern, but that's okay. For a first crack at the can, I'm very happy with it, and it's a little rustic maybe, but I don't care. I like it. Double coordinator rods, of course. I did an antiquing on all the hardware here, all the brass hardware. My signature they put on everything, just my underlined M. And I do that because R's are really difficult to carve, and I can do that with a slotted screwdriver in a pinch. Got a fiber skin head on this right now. I might try switching it up to a Renaissance head. We'll see. I don't know. I wanted the deeper sound, and I like the sound I was getting from the fiber skin head. Got a rosewood and ebony moon bridge there with a solid foot. It's got a little tiny maple shim under there because I needed to raise the action just a hair, and I couldn't do it any other way. I was having sort of a funny problem where this wanted to just kind of rotate back just ever so slightly. It's maybe like these feet were maybe lifting off at the front by just like a 1 or 2 thousandths or something like that, like really minimal, but still enough that I was noticing lack of total full contact. I think it settled down a bit maybe. Could be my head tension. I'm really not sure because I am a complete novice when it comes to banjo building, to be honest. I'm really happy with my inlays. They're walnut and brass, and I aligned the grain and all the walnut to go with the neck, which is kind of a pain in the diamonds there, but I did it anyway. And I'm happy with my little hexagonal shapes. My miters are not 100% on it, and that's the methodology I used for making them was a little bit flawed, obviously. So I'll have to figure out a better way to do that in the future. But all in all, I think they worked out okay. I like my my truss rod cover here. It's magnetic, so you can just pop that right out. Little rare earth magnet on the back. To make that work, I had to make a little steel nut to go on my truss rod. I think it's Martin style maybe, I'm not too sure. The side dots and the neck here, I made those with square tubing too, and they got a little walnut infill. Really hard to see at that size. Family crest there is a stork with a wheel. Actually, it's supposed to be a stork standing on a wheel holding a gold nugget, but I made this for some other reason, and that's sort of a variation I came up with, which I kind of like actually. I'm almost thinking that almost ought to be a banjo. We'll see if I play around with that idea some more. My little diamonds up here, I like those, came out nicely, I think. So I'm using a little 5-star 5th string tuner, which I painted black. It was I think chrome or nickel, and I wanted to match the other tuners. And so I'm using Kluson tuners up here, mostly because I wanted to use a high ratio tuner, and you got to spend really big bucks to get a good high ratio planetary tuner. So also all the banjos I sort of got started with all had guitar tuners, so I kind of got used to that. Now I'll try some others with some planetaries down the road, but these work pretty good, and they're a nice tuner. I got to say, they're really smooth. Not too expensive, about $100 for a set. So the peg head, I guess we call it an underlay, is sapele. I ebonized this with steel wool and vinegar, and it worked out really well. The ebonizing really penetrated nicely through the grain, and I've got just the slightest ghosting of brown showing through, which I don't mind, but it'd be nice if it were black. I did give it a coat of stain, but it obviously didn't really take all that well. And the peg head design actually started out with me looking at these tombstone shaped tuners and wanting to come up with something that would kind of jive with those. And originally I was going to go with like an amber type tuning peg, but then as I got going, I found these I like these black ones, so I went with that. So if you were to look closely, you'd actually see that the angles on this tuner here are closely mimicked in the peg head shape. I feel like the peg head's okay. Maybe it might feel a little oversized for the scale length of the banjo, at least, because it's a short scale. It's a 25.5-inch scale. But all in all, I'm really happy with it, and the tone worked out, I think, pretty good. It's got a nice earthy sound, which I like. Right now it's tuned up to like an F, but I was down a step further down for most of the time. I've been screwing around with this in a double C, or rather go down one, I guess, double A sharp tuning. Maybe I'll tune it back down there and try playing another little tune I've been working on. I wish I was a better banjo player, that's for sure, because I don't think I can show this thing off and do it justice with my abilities. But anyhow, like I say, I'm quite happy, and I am ready to move on to the next banjo.